so look towards me, just think some thoughts. Beautiful, that's great. Okay.
They're deep, they're very deep. My name is Hamilton. I go by Hamilton, but my writing name is Jane Eaton Hamilton. My pronouns are they, their. When I was growing up, there was no such thing really as trans people or non-binary people. I announced to my mom when I was about 3, I guess, that I was a boy, and then, I got the petticoat remedy. And when I got to kindergarten the first day, my mom dropped me at the school, and the teacher said, line up, girls on one side, boys on the other side. And, well, I looked at the boys, and I thought, well, I'm not really a boy. And I looked at the girls, and I went, well, I'm definitely not one of them. And so I started a third line in the middle. The teacher came over and put her very kind hands on my shoulders and guided me to the back of the girls' line, where I stayed for a long, long time. I was a photographer for 8 years. I did art photography and travel photography and family photography. Unlike writing, which is delving into some intense, deep topics, photography was quite celebratory. You're with people when they're celebrating the best things in their lives, which is kind of an honor. I started writing as a teenager. I wrote the usual schlocky teenage poems and took it up more seriously when I was about 30. I wrote a novel called Weekend, which is a novel that takes place between 4 queer people on an island in northern Ontario. One of the characters uses they, their pronouns, and I think it's one of the first books that's done that. And it was awkward. It was awkward to write. And I think it's sometimes awkward to read, too, because people are really not used to it. And people don't like the messenger, right? I mean, that's a very typical behavioral response to somebody agitating for change. On the other hand, you change the world. And I'm very interested in stopping violence against women and children and trans and queer people. It outrages me that we are so complacent about violence in our community. I myself have had a history of both being battered in a long-term relationship, and several years after I left that relationship, I was raped by a woman. There are about 635,000 sexual assaults in Canada every single year. They say that 12% are reported to police, but obviously if we have only 2,400 convictions, 12% are not reported to police. It's far, far, far less than that. This many sexual assaults in a year means that Canada is actually violating our Section 15 equality rights as women. It's not an issue in the queer community right now, and we need to make it one. Powerful forces are arrayed against us. I think we need to be more powerful back. And I know it's still fraught with difficulties and danger, but it's so much easier than it was, and there are so many people you can look to for support. Lots of queer people are living proof as they've changed laws over time. I think we're in good shape if we stay politically engaged and care about each other. The youth are magnificent to watch in action. I think people don't realize that it's within their power to make a better world. Every small incremental action adds up with other people's small incremental actions. If you want to change the world, change the world.